FIFA have been using this World Cup as a way to test some new rules and some changes to the game that we all love. Some good, some okay, and some just kind of bad. So I'm gonna go through the main changes that we're seeing in this World Cup and how they affect the game. Yeah, let's get into it. The first change, which is the most glaring and it is kind of the elephant in the room, is the hydration breaks. That's like, it's the most obvious change. It's the change everyone's seeing and everyone is talking about. The hydration breaks are kind of dumb. I don't think they're good at all. I don't like them, quite frankly. You know, starting off negative here, of course, as usual. The hydration breaks are clearly just a way to show more advertising during a football match and make more money under the premise of player safety and health and hydration and stuff like that, which, you know, in some cases there is weather that calls for a hydration break. Like if you're playing in 35 degrees or something in Dallas, Texas, right? Clearly there needs to be a hydration break. But some of the stadiums are indoor stadiums with air conditioning. There is no need for a hydration break when you have air conditioning. Also, FIFA has been trying to test out making football a 4-quarter sport like basketball. So this is their way of doing that. It also has some pretty negative consequences to some games because some teams have spent time building up momentum only for that momentum to get stopped by a hydration break. Next up is the time wasting prevention measures they've taken, which I'm pretty sure is 5 seconds for throw-ins and 10 seconds for substitutions. If you're subbed off, you have 10 seconds to get off the pitch, otherwise you die. So those are two very good new rules, because the Premier League, and this was like the main criticism of the Premier League this season besides the refereeing, but the main criticism of Premier League and football in general is just the time wasting. Everyone is wasting so much time. Like, you maybe have the ball in play in a 90-minute match for 60 minutes. It was getting kind of ridiculous. So this rule gets a double thumbs up from me. Lastly, that I have on my list, there's probably things I've missed, so if any of you remember any of it, just comment down below. The last thing is red cards for covering your mouth and talking. That's, I think, good. I think it's really good. I think it's a good rule. I think it is needed, specifically because of what happened with Vinicius and Prestiani, where, you know, he probably said something racist, but it couldn't really be proven because he was covering his mouth, and he most likely did it. You know, that's besides the point. The point is covering your mouth and talking to an opponent, not to a teammate, by the way. I've been seeing some posts on Twitter. Some of these fans have been trying to call out Messi for covering his mouth and talking to a teammate, which, you're dumb. Okay, don't do that. But talking to an opponent with your mouth covered is what is trying to be taken out of the game here. So this is a good thing. However, when it happened to Almiron, I felt a little bit for him, even though he probably trying to like say something, get into the other player's head. But I feel a little bit because it is a new rule. It's something like, you know, you can have muscle memory because you're talking a lot to other players, whether it's good or bad, with your mouth covered, right? Because you don't want everyone knowing your private business if you're saying something private to them. So I can understand that maybe he has muscle memory for it and he's just very used to covering his mouth when he's talking to other players or something else like that. He just wasn't thinking about the new rule, and then all of a sudden the Turkish player is going up to the referee saying, oh my god, he covered his mouth. He covered his mouth. Get him out of here. Then he gets a red card for it, and then your team's down a man. But to be fair, Turkey still lost. But yeah, I think overall, good rule. Racism and homophobia and all kinds of abuse in that sense is something that should be acted upon. And so overall, I do think this is a good rule. Anyways, that's my take. You've heard me yap. Sorry. But now I want to hear what you guys think. So let me know in the comments. Yeah, see you guys in the next video.